Hello everyone, welcome back to the humiliating farce I laughably call the Mr. Smelly 1977 Fragrance Review channel today. We're going to talk about my top 7 vintage fragrances that I love most in my personal collection. Now, don't forget, if you want to get samples in the USA or Canada, please go to myfragrancesamples.com, link in the description. The code Mr. gets you 15% off across the site. It's a great place to get your samples. Okay, so we're talking today about vintage fragrances that I absolutely love. By the way, I used to do intros. Now my intros are the outros. The outro today is my open letter, my plea to Jeremy Fragrance to rejoin the world of the sane. Okay, so stay tuned for that at the end of the video. So we are talking about things where I have either an old formula of a fragrance that now isn't as good as it used to be, or a fragrance that's totally discontinued. That's vintage to me. Okay, first up, one that you can't buy anymore unless you find it on eBay, which I did, so you can still find it, okay? If you search long enough, you will find one eventually. Be patient, that's the key. Van Cleef and Arpels Zar. The old name for the king, ruler, or emperor of Russia. And 1989 release. Amazing. I think it's a fougere. I don't know. The designations don't mean that much to me. Philippe Bousseton, Big Phil, was the perfumer for this one. Amazing aromatic fougere. I can't believe I hesitated so long to get this in the collection after having opportunities to buy it. Okay, you've got green notes, there's rosemary, there's pine tree, bit of juniper, lovely carnation. A lot of old fragrances have this beautiful floral carnation tone. Real oak moss in there. This is a real old vintage bottle. Love the bottle design, by the way, and the box. And we've also got cedar, patchouli, musk, vetiver, and some other really long note listing. It's so wonderfully green, mossy, masculine, rich mixture of very complex, note listing of all these kind of different kitchen herbs and spices, the rosemary and things. You've got that beautiful carnation floral thing, lovely kind of undertone of a little bit of leathery, manly ruggedness. Lasts ages. Really great dry down on this one. So good when you smell it on your clothes or even on your skin the next day if you didn't bath. It is an amazing fragrance. Zar Van Cleef Arpels, one of my real current favourites. There's about 10 fragrances sat in front of me that I'm not including that I probably should have, and so if you say, why didn't you include this, maybe I'll do a part 2, Okay, Dolce & Gabbana Puron, 1994, I've mentioned it zillions of times, I've got 3 bottles. 1994, Max Gavari, this is a beautiful mid-90s freshie. It is so absolutely beautifully done. It's fresh and citrusy, it's again got quite a lot of herbs and things, and it also has this beautiful little slight twist of tobacco, so your full note listing, you've got lavender, lemon, bergamot, clary, sage, tarragon, neroli, orange, mandarin orange, pepper, cinnamon, coriander, geranium, violet, jasmine, rose, tobacco, tonka bean, sandalwood, musk, cedar, amber, coumarin, iris. Is there anything they forgot to add in? The overall result is a fresh, bright, breezy, citrusy, floral, herbal, tiny bit tobacco-esque, musky fragrance that is just so exquisite. It is a fresh, leaning towards citrus aromatic territory, but a bit too complex to be called just that. Absolutely great. Lasts okay, projection and stuff, not amazing, not the strongest. You can find bottles. You need to get the Dolce & Gabbana sticker on it, okay? Any version with the sticker is the old made in Italy. After that, they screwed it up and they print the name on the bottles. It's still okay, but it's not as good. Next up, just talking about this on a live stream the other day. Don't forget my live streams every Monday. When do I do them now? Well, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Every Monday, Friday, Thursday, Saturday, 10:30 p.m. UK time. That's 5:30 p.m. New York City. We have amazing scenes there. Thursday night is vintage night. The other nights go a bit all over the shop. Some people like them, some people hate them. Have a look, take your pick. It's unique in the fragrance community. We are building a worldwide live stream community for FragCon. We needed it. Xerius, okay, Givenchy, 1986. I was amazed to find Alberto Marias composed it. Must have been one of his earlier compositions. And it's got bergamot, it's got lavender, it's got violet. And it's an aromatic fougere with a little bit of something extra, something more, because it's got incense and these kind of balsamic resinous accords as well as your classic fougere. So a subtle hint of futuristic modernity or Orientalism, dare I say, in this fragrance gives it something really remarkable. It still has that very soapy mid-80s kind of barbershop feel, but it's got a nuance of something different. Fantastic bottle design. Now this one, if you're thinking, oh, for God's sake, Mr. Smelly, we can't buy these. Well, you can find it online if you're careful. You want that bottle design. Or you can buy the modern reissue version, which is still really good. It's just a little bit lighter, not quite as dense, but it's still recognisably, essentially, the DNA is there, but I do prefer the vintage. So it's vintage for me if you can, but if you can't, get the modern one. It's still great. This one is in for kind of emotional reasons, sentimental reasons. I'm not a sentimental man normally. Paco Rabanne, sports to Paco Rabanne. Thanks to Chris from Scentland, the excellent Scentland channel, was the man who revealed this one to me and many other people in the community. Rosendo Matteo, the sadly now deceased perfumer, recently dead, sadly, a wonderful aromatic fougere, as was the original Paco Rabanne Puron, which I have an old bottle of, could have made the list, but this one, 86 release, I'm going to give it the title here. It is, they've basically taken a little bit of that fougere thing of the original, and they've really, really brightened it up with a twist of lime, a little bit more of a green citrusy thing, accented more than the rich, warming, manly undertones of the original one, and this really kind of green, rugged, kind of old-fashioned sporty feel. It's a sport fragrance from the days when sport was played by people wearing, sweatbands and headbands and wooden tennis rackets and that kind of thing, which were just about going out in 86, but you know what I mean, okay? It's a John McEnroe style sport fragrance. Sport with balls. Sport de Paco Rabanne. Great fragrance. Hard to find. Not always mega expensive if you do, though. So keep your eyes on the ball. You'll also see a version called Eau de Sport. Same fragrance. They just changed the names. Who knows why? Next up, we've got a legend of the community. Balenciaga Puron 1990. Gerard Anthony, I think, was the perfumer. This is a really, really rich powerhouse 80s fragrance, but it's from 1990. So it missed the 80s, but it smells like some of the best things of the 80s. It was a commercial flop, hence why for a while there were a lot of bottles floating around on eBay. But now they've all been hoovered up by these scalpers, unfortunately. But I really like this one. 30ml bottle. Look out for it if you can. It has honey and oak moss and labdanum and sandalwood in the base. It has some passing similarities to Kouros or Antaeus, but it's got this really rich, resinous, pungent undertone and also some of that soapy barbershop thing as well. But very, very resinous, rich, in a way that Xerius had a little bit of that, but much more deep and rich and sort of unctuous, actually. Unctuous and hairy-chested, but in a really, really sophisticated amazeballs way. I love the bottle design. So Balenciaga Puron, if you can find it, and I'm sorry if you can't, it is hard to track down. We got one now from the wonderful house, again, of Givenchy. It's got to be Monsieur Givenchy. I needed an out-and-out citrusy one. This is so fresh and beautiful. I do have the modern version. There's a reissue. Again, that's still really good, but this just has a je ne sais quoi, a three-dimensional quality that one now lacks in its reformulated version. This was a 1959 release, and you've got things such as lemon. Well, actually, this is the full note listing. Lemon, carnation, pepper, cinnamon, lemon verbena, lavender, oak moss, sandalwood, and I think that's it. So it's really, really, really well crafted. It is a little bit in the same ballpark as things like Chanel Pour Monsieur. Really a close run thing, whether I prefer that or this. This one just has this real debonair kind of charm to it. It is citrusy, it is fresh, it has floral tones. It's a dapper, gentlemanly, refined scent, and that real oak moss in the base gives it just a magic that you don't get in a modern citrus aromatic or in any other modern fragrance too often. Amazing if you like a fresh, dapper, gentlemanly, everyday scent. Longevity and powerfulness, not the best on that one. The Sport Paco Rabanne, okay. Balenciaga Puron, kind of beast mode. Xerius, medium. Zar, very strong. And D&G Puron, not the greatest ever. I've got one more to go. Eau Sauvage, the original Dior citrus aromatic masterpiece. You need one where the box is like this. And the bottle design, unfortunately, very similar now, so it's hard to tell if you find a vintage or not on eBay. And this is the best ever citrus aromatic, arguably. Okay, fantastic kind of bergamot, neroli, lemony, citrus opening notes. Wonderful hint of jasmine and or kind of hedione. Hedione, this ingredient that's supposed to stimulate the part of women's brains responsible for sexual attraction. Okay, well, you try it. Don't, take some karate lessons. You may be fighting them off if you wear this one. It is a beautifully crafted fragrance with that beautiful combination of herbs, beautiful citrus and musk and vetiver in the base. Gentlemanly, fresh, sexy. Steve McQueen used to wear it as his signature scent and said it got him a lot of ladies. The fact that he was a famous, handsome millionaire film star may not have harmed his chances either, but this probably didn't hurt neither. Eau Sauvage, get yourself a bottle of the vintage. There's still quite a few out there if you can. I'm going to leave it there. If you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe. I do give you something different, what with this kind of content, the vintage and the live streams. Give me a chance. Hit that subscribe button. Watch a few videos. I think you'll find it's worth it. I'm going to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Here is my statement that I did on my live stream appealing to Jeremy Fragrance. An open letter, if you will, to the community and Jeremy. Check it out, guys. Bye-bye. Jeremy Fragrance is without a doubt the most famous and significant online fragrance influencer of all time. He was the first fragrance YouTuber to pass 100,000 subscribers, the first to pass 1 million, and now has the most total views and subscribers of any YouTuber in our community. He was one of, if not the first YouTubers to make this a full-time job. in the fragrance world. All of us who have followed in his footsteps owe this man a debt of gratitude. He qualitatively raised the profile of YouTube fragrance channels. Many of us have been discovered by viewers who were first attracted to the fragrance hobby by Jeremy's channel. His Adonis-like good looks and statuesque physique are undeniable, and his on-screen camera, and his on-camera confidence and charisma are unparalleled in the world of fragrance videos. He was the first significant fragrance YouTuber to launch his own fragrance brand and has had huge success. Those of us who, like me, have also launched fragrance brands must acknowledge that he showed that this was possible, and we should thank him, and I do. Genuinely, no joke. I will now proceed to continue with my fragrance. Please super chat. Sadly, success brings jealousy and hatred. I, Mr. Smelly, have received my fair share of spiteful and moronic attacks from the online sewer rats who pollute our community with their bile. One can only imagine the hateful messages, threats, and insults Jeremy receives on a daily basis. He has been subjected to spurious allegations of buying subscribers and conning people, all with absolutely no evidence and based purely on ignorant speculation. The truth is that his success is based primarily on a combination of talent, hard work, business acumen, and consistency. In the last year or two, fears have grown for his well-being. He seems to rarely have guests in his channel on his channel as he used to. His TikTok videos are increasingly bizarre and unhinged. He appears to have very strange eating habits, ranging from consuming absurd amounts of dates to raw meat or eggs, boiled eggs with their shells on. His own brother Camille has expressed concerns over his behavior, as has the well-known and respected YouTuber Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I do not know if his brief videos are an act or if he really is unhinged. However, he does at times give hints that he is genuinely suffering from some kind of burnout or internal struggle. This is entirely understandable when you consider the burden of his fame and the pressures of his role. Now we come to the substantive part of my statement. I want to say here today that I, Mr. Smelly, as the most respected fragrance personality in the world, salute Jeremy Fragrance for his remarkable achievements. I invite him to rejoin the community that he did so much to create. I invite him to appear on my live stream, and I invite every one of you out there in our community to stop bashing him and bloody well appreciate that the fragrance community would be a much duller and smaller place without him. This is a message of friendship to Jeremy Fragrance. He needs to hear that he is appreciated and that what he has done means a lot to many people out there. I believe that it is time for the rebirth of Jeremy Fragrance as a more human and less distant figure, and I believe that we need to show this man some appreciation. Stop condemning and start celebrating the greatest fragrance influencer of all time. Jeremy Fragrance, we love you, we embrace you, and we want to see you interact a little bit more with the community. You don't have to dance around in that kind of crazy way. You can be a new version. I want to see Jeremy Mark II. That's the end of my statement to the community. Guys, I've stepped in. I've basically given a great opportunity to Jeremy, and I've shown him the way out of this morass. Others have merely speculatively about what's going on. Only Mr. Smelly has offered the solution, and I salute myself for this. I salute myself here live on stage in front of the community. Now we must discuss this matter in more